This conference will now be recorded.
Hello. Hello, Mr. Aaron. Hello, Mr.
Hello.
Srinivasulu. Yeah. Come on. You have any doubts till now?
No, sir. I didn't attend last class, so I
Okay.
have to
You
go through
attended last?
the recording.
No, last time recording we missed it. Some of the session we missed it.
Okay.
Okay. And what we discussed was only the decision making statements we have done last time. That is if statement, and then if else statement, else if statements, and then when we gave a start on control statements like if while statement. Uh,
Okay.
uh, okay. Maybe nearly 40, 35 minutes the class was not recorded. 35 minutes. After that only we found that class was not recording, and then we initiated it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I just figured it out. I just figured that out. It's only 16 minutes of recording.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Srinivasulu, are you available?
Sir,
Do you have any doubts?
no, sir.
Okay. You are familiar with C? Are you familiar with C?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay, then now we'll start once again with then while statement, like loop control statements. Like the basically the keywords are functions as to cater to the basic needs of programming. And so for decision making we have seen that if statement. Decision making is basically nothing but whether we need to go through it or not through it. Like if we are going through it, what is the next process or next execution should be done. Like when we need to save a file, we have a decision making, save, whether to say yes, no, or cancel. And so when yes is fed, what is the consequences? What is how the program should go through it? And when no is pressed, what how the program should go through it? These are the things which decision making statements will help. Instructions we can say decision making instructions. And next is loop control instructions. Loop control instructions that if we need to do a job repeated or in a till we reach particular target, then loop is required, or otherwise control is required. Okay, that is loop control. That is indefinitely. For examples, if we need to do, if we are having a certain input and we need to take an average on that, and inputs are live, then we need to take an average over that input, means then we will need to go for continuous computation of that input. And so these loop controls are required. And for example, we will mostly concentrate in go through with examples in this session, so that we will be familiar with programming also. So let me take an example for this. Basically while loop will go under a condition of testing, and then the condition is pass through, then we need to execute a loop of statements, and then we need to again check the condition. You, we need to, the condition will be continuously checked that till that condition will be failed. Once that condition is failed, then only the program pointer will come out of that while loop. For that, we will take an example now. We'll go for a example like factorial. I think everybody knows what is factorial is. Factorial is,
So sorry to interrupt. You haven't shared your screen.
yeah, thanks for reminding. So how you have noticed that I'm not shared the screen? How you have
I'm
noticed
not
that
able.
I am not?
Yeah,
No?
I'm not able to. I'm not able to view your window.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
No, that we are only speaking. No, no. Okay, that's okay, fine. Now we'll go for factorial. So factorial, I think mostly everybody will be aware. Like if I say factorial means of 5 is nothing but 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This is factorial of 5. The end result is factorial. Okay. So here we are having a repeated computation, that is repeated multiplication. We'll take this as an example. So we will take a value if we have a semicolon here, then the while statement will be completed. And so following loop will be, by default, it will be executed only once. And so this semicolon will end the instruction of while. We can write it as I plus plus or I is equal to I plus 1. So this is post incremental, that is I will be incremented after the execution of this current statement, that is I plus plus.
Sir, that fact equal to fact plus fact into
What
I,
is
right?
it? Yes, what is it?
Fact into I, right?
Yes, yes, fact into I. Okay. So I think everybody is able to understand this, no? So initially fact is initialized as 1 and then initialized as 1, okay, and then we are incrementing the multiplication, like fact into I, and so I is also incremented as 1, so 2 in 1 into 1, that will be saved as fact. And so now in the next, now I will be incremented to 2, and so since 2 is still lesser than the 5, the now fact will be now multiplied by 2, so 1 into 2, like this we will be multiplying the value sequentially, so that the loop will be completed once we reach the input value, for example 5. So in every execution the fact value will be changing. In the first execution fact value is not changed since we are multiplying one with 1 only, but in next execution, next cycle, then the fact value will be changed, and we are replacing the previous value of fact with the new value. And so the first execution we are only concentrating on 1, the next execution we are concentrating on 2 into 1, and so 2 will be stored. So in the third execution 3 into 2 into 1 will be stored in fact, and in fourth execution 4 into 3 into 1 will be stored, and in fifth execution 5 into 4 into 3 into 1 will be stored in the fact, and so end result will be the fact data which will be displayed. So let us try to copy this program and run it here. think this word is not allowing. Okay. Okay. So we will run get character here. Last time, one of the participant asked what is the get IO usage. Now you will be able to see the difference. The value 120 is displayed, but we were not able to see since get character was not available. And so the get character will wait for a stroke of any keyword, and then only it will hand over the control to the compiler. So till that we can have the control over the screen. Okay. Now you are able to see the result. 120 has come. Factorial value is 120. So this type of repeated repeatedly doing some activity can be put in a while statement, while instruction. Do anybody is having doubt in this? Okay, we'll go for next for loop. There is one more instruction which can be used is for instruction. So for instruction format will be like this. We can say counter increment. This is the for format, that is we'll have a counter. In previous case we were having the counter as I, okay, and here in the instruction itself we will be able to initialize or declare a counter here itself, and then the condition, whatever the conditions we are having here, similarly we can have a condition here, and counter increment, what should be the increment, whether it is I plus plus or I minus minus, that also we can take it like this. Maybe this program can be run in a different format, like we have initialized I is equal to fact is equal to 1, while we can have it in a different format, like we can initialize the I is equal to input underscore n, and then we can condition I is lesser than or equal to 1, and then we can go for minus minus. This is also possible. Okay, both way we can do this, compute this program. And so here similarly we can have a counter increment, it can be I plus plus or I minus minus. We are incrementing the negative counter. If the counter is negative, then we are incrementing the negative counter. That is what here it is. So uh, we will try to execute this previous program itself with for statement and see what is going to happen. We can have multiple initialization also here. This is also acceptable. Okay, we'll run it and see. So small mistakes when we compile the program, we will be able to find it out. Okay, we can clear the previous data here by clear screen. Since previously we were having repeatedly we were able to see the previous run window, now we will not be able to see. So you're able to see here. So with the clear screen function, we can clear the previous run window, and this is we have to use this function only after the declaration and of any variables and functions. It should not be run before the declaration statement. So if anybody is having any doubt, you can ask now. While here this is also accepted, while semicolon should be the semicolon is mandatory, which will distinguish the condition. This is also accepted. The condition is default, that should be there. So either way it is, this is also accepted, this is normal, otherwise this is also accepted. This way is also accepted for a for statement. Do anybody is having doubts on this? If not, we will move forward, and we can do nesting of these instructions also. Like we can have one more in a for loop, we can have while loop also. Otherwise, we can have for loop also within the function, within the for instruction. We can have nesting of these functions as well. Okay, we can have if also. This is applicable for if statement also. Within if also we can have for or while, and one more if also, like one more like nesting of if is also possible. Then we can include these things under different statements also. So it is applicable to do so. And we have one more control statement, do while. In while, we'll do after executing the while condition. In do while, we will be first doing the loop and then validate the test condition. And so the format will be like this. Then semicolon is mandatory here. For a do while, we have to end with semicolon, since otherwise the compiler will treat it as this one more while statement, and so there will be compilation error if we don't run with a semicolon. And so here we will be running whenever there is a test condition will be validated after doing one single run, then we will go for do while. If test condition after validating the test condition, if we are doing with a loop, then we'll go for while. like like suppose if we are mm, not getting any immediate example for this. For suppose if we are taking suppose if we are having a temperature, we need we are taking input of a temperature from a variable. Okay, we are getting an input of a temperature. If the so and so temperature value is more than 100 degrees, then uh, not so practical, but we will still say it. Okay. We are giving an input in Celsius, we are calculating into Fahrenheit. Okay, converting into Fahrenheit. If Fahrenheit value is more than 100 degrees, then condition will be again given in the loop continuously, so that Fahrenheit 100, if it is there existing only, yes, some process will be executed continuously. We can take it like that. Otherwise, uh, like y- uh, one to another number, like we can have a something conditions like this. If he wants to enter, here we have done temperature scanf, feed the value for conversion. Since degrees can be in float, this loop is Celsius to Fahrenheit converter. Do you want to convert another number? Since we are already having a print statement run here, so it's better to start with a new line for one more interaction, so that this printf will be in a new line. Otherwise, it will be consecutive to the previous value. May not be. Yes. We'll when we run the program, we'll come to know if you. Okay, but so we will be scanning up the data. This is character input, so it will be C. So here we will be checking the condition. New is equal to back apostrophe. Yes. If new is, this is a comparison symbol, this is not equal to symbol. If we use double equal to, that is comparison, that is whether left hand side and right hand side variable values are same, then this will return a non-zero value. And so this do loop will be first executed, and we will be printing the value and uh, we'll be asking whether we need to convert one more value. If the response is yes, then this do loop will be executed one more time. If the response is no, then we'll be coming out of this while loop, and we'll be the consecutive statements will be executed. If not, we'll be going out. We'll be closing that program. Okay. So I would request you people to execute this program with a proper conversion formula for Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion. So try to do it. If you have any doubts in this, kindly come back in the next session. Okay. Do there is any doubt in this? Do you have any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, we will be going for one more program, and there are we like we have break and continue in as a usually that will not be good to use in a program, but these are all wherever there is a diversion from the uh, normal flow of a program, then which will not be utilized, like go to break and continue, though break will be continue will be used usually with switch cases, which is one another loop control statement, loop control instruction, while go to also one more keyword will be available, which is suggested not to use since the pointers will have a drastic changes. So when we have time we will see about that. As of now as of now we will be seeing a example here. If Fahrenheit is equal to 100, this is an example only. Break means it will come out of the inner loop. Okay, that is, it will be breaking out of the while. Okay, yeah, and so unconditionally this while statement will be broken, and the control will come out of the while statement, while instruction. Okay, suppose if break is not equal to 100, then continue. Okay, that is, it will be going continue. This is also one way of doing. That is, uh, what is the thing is, when continue is end, when the compiler sees continue, the control jumps to the beginning of the loop. That is, if we are having a loop here, Let me see, show it in a program there. We'll execute here directly. We'll see the program how it runs now. You see, factorial value after while is 2. And so if fact is equal to 2, then a break is executed, and so loop is the loop is broken, and the pointer comes out of the break. The control comes out of the while, sorry. Okay. So we will go for continue now. It has no effect in fact, but to show the now there will be no effect in the program. Okay, one total will be executed. Now we will see. I'm placing the I++ here. See, 240. And so actually calculation is done for one more time, but the control is again run without in this. Actually I++ will not be incremented in the first flow, but when factorial is equal to 2, I++ will not be executed. It control will go to the starting of the function, starting of the loop, that is fact is equal to fact into I, and so one more run we have taken additionally, and so we got the 240 value. Understanding? So this is the usage of break and continue. So next we may need to go for switch statement. I think it is better to start with the new session for switch statement. If any doubt is there, you can ask now. Otherwise, we will close the session. Do anybody is having doubts? Shall we close it? Shall we call it as a day? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.